welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange East End edition, not the bells editions, because we're not ringing anybody's bells or corners or otherwise. Good morning. Yeah, it is kind of the brain fog still in from the sleep last night. So it's March 13th, and welcome. I'm going to share the screen and kind of go through some stuff with what is going on in the land of Phoenix. To reach us, to come into the Phoenix space, come into www, three W's, pbex.ca, and you'll get into our world and our space. And you can also link with us. So you should be seeing my screen, which I'm sharing now. And let's start scrolling down. Member of the week this week is Shane Bayless. And we've got 4 chapter meetings not per week. We have 3 per week, 1 per month. So we have Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. Just click on one of the 3 red buttons, and it will take you there. So 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a monthly meeting the first Tuesday of the month. And that is, this one coming up is on April 2nd, and Penny Lee's hosting that event. Special registrations, East Trade Wins is every Tuesday at 8 a.m. So if you didn't make it last week, come on in next week. No obligations, no costs. Mix and Mingle Hunt Club, March 26th, 11:30 a.m. Then there's an iPhone seminar with Norm Boye, and Norm is, I'll ask Norm a bit more about that later on as we go through this. But if you click on that, that starts a registration cycle. And of course, we have the ever popular and moving Penny Lee, so she can shake your whatever you want to get shaken, so to speak. And then we have Tony doing some feng shui stuff. So, kind of coordinating your house and putting things in the right place, and getting all your T's dotted and your I's crossed, so to speak. A QR directory for all Phoenix members, so you can access the information from other members. And if you're from the outside world, in other words, you're not part of Phoenix, you're welcome to go down that list. And, there might be a resource in here that you can find. Like, there's anything from someone that can supply you the finest meats on God's green earth, down to anybody that can help build your or fix your house, to dash cams, or anything in between. Top books to read and some stats. So last year we've had, or year to date, I should say, year to date, referrals 101. So we've referred people 101 times within the group. That's the nature of the beast of the Phoenix. BAMs, we've had business activity meetings. That's where we get to know fellow members. Sometimes, you can say, hi, I do real estate. What does that mean? Because that's a pretty broad topic. But sometimes when you have those BAMs, you end up getting a little more in-depth information. You get to understand what they do, what the specialty is, and so forth. And then we go down to how much money have we spent amongst ourselves? A year to date's 26,125. Just a reminder, if you have not sent your February stats off to Tony, please do so. Your e-card. Now, you notice the QR code in behind my on the side of my head here. Well, each of us as a Phoenix member has an e-card. What that does is puts all your information in one spot. You can share all that information one time. What does that mean? It means less friction for someone to get a hold of you or share your information. So that's kind of a cool thing. Plus, you can load their details quick and fast. I'm going to stop share now. And I'm going to swing over to the thought for the day. And Tony, who's doing the thought for the day today?
I will do it today. Thanks,
All
Bernie.
right, over to you, sir.
I was going through some notes a while back. At this time of year, I tend to go through old papers, and something's got to get shredded, something's got to go. Anything with my name on it gets all shredded. And then I came upon several lists of an old Phoenix meeting that we did about 5 years ago. At that point, we were about 80 to 90 members, roughly, double in what we have these days because of the various things going on. And then I was looking at the stats. And it was very interesting. And I knew this, but seeing it on paper was vastly different. The BAMs were 3 times is what we're doing now. And we're not doing anything different. We're not plugging for anything. It was just natural times that people were coming together in BAMs. Our referrals were more than double than we are doing today because we had twice the people. We had our West group, which is the first group that we ever had. When Phoenix started back in 2016, it was just a whim that I wanted to get into a group that was just free and easy, and there's people helping each other. And I saw this vision, and that's what created the logos and the Phoenix emblem. Everything meant something. And our first meeting, we had a snowstorm, and I invited about 50 businesses on that day. And I said, okay, no one's going to show. I mean, it's like a 2 hour drive from from Orleans to get to this meeting. 2 hours in the car, one way. And I says, no one's going to show. It's like, what a stroke of whatever luck it is. I don't believe in luck. It is what it is. 26 people came in. So out of that 26, 8 people joined on the first day. It's just like I love this group. It's just I was involved, and Mike Volotsky was in it. Just had this beautiful camaraderie. The following week, another 8 people joined. Within 3 weeks, we were up to 32 members, and it was smoking. It took about 6 weeks before we hit about 45. And it was just like when people joined, we had pretty much 100% closing rate. If somebody could just come in and just visit, we didn't even ask him to join, just visit. They didn't leave without applying. And what does that tell us? It tells us that when there's a lot of people, there's energy. When there's this much vibrancy, there's energy. And it reminded me of where we used to be. It says, oh, yeah, we don't notice it when we just think of what we're doing today, right? But you look back, and those were amazing times. People couldn't hardly wait. They would never miss a meeting. If they did, we were on Zoom as well, by the way. They were on Zoom. We always, from day one, we've always been on Zoom. So we had the meeting itself, and then we had a picture on the screen, and that's people that are on Zoom. And it was just an amazing time. And our referrals, we closed the year, I think our first year, with $750,000 worth of shared business. Now we're doing about anywhere between 200,000, 250,000 area. Okay. So what does that tell us? It tells us that when we bring in more people, it's just naturally going to be more referrals for everybody. People had record years back in that first day. So what we're asking, I mean, Penny Lee and I and Bernie and a lot of others are always working to try and bring people in. But perhaps what we're looking for is someone to say, we need help. If you know somebody that has a business, ask him to come in. Even now, we have roughly an 80% closing rate. Your job is not for them to be members. That's our job. What your job is just to invite somebody. Somebody has a business on a category we do not have. Like we have enough coaches, we have enough people that do health, like Susan's, the two Susans, actually. Okay. We have enough people to do that. But what do we don't have? Okay, I knew for a long time we did not have a florist. And so it was up to me, and it was 6 months before I was able to bring in a florist in one of the meetings. And now they're starting to get business, and it'll be a while before they start reciprocating and bring business to you. But that's why it's up to us to meet with them, have BAMs with them, tell us what we do. And chances are, in that hour or more, whatever time you are, whether it's on Zoom or personal, she's going to think of something and says, I do have somebody that could use your service or use your product. In one of our, I'm going to make this short, Bernie. In one of our things on our website, oh, this is our website here. So it's pbex.ca. On one of the top ones here, on the About Us, there's a category called Open Categories. And in this page itself is list all of the professions we do not have. Furniture retail, and it just goes on and on. There's over 106 plumbers, window cleaners, home theater systems, garage door opener, any garage door technician. If a garage door isn't working, who do we go? And these are people that you probably know. A lot of groups, they'll say, take about 10 people that you don't know and just send them letters, send them invites, and, some of them it works, but chances are, some of these people. If you have a hot tub, chances are you'll know a hot tub guy or a hot tub gal. Home appliance repair, stoves, washer, dryers are always breaking down. And we would love to give business to them if we had somebody. So if you're dealing with somebody, just say, hey, are you in a network club? And if they know you, I said, no. He says, here's a link. Come to the next meeting. And what did that cost you? But what will it give you? If we had double or triple, if we had 25, 30 people coming into every meeting, I guarantee your business will make an impact. There's no question. With Sam, everyone has a car. With Susan, we all have bodies that we want to keep healthy. With Ema, we always want to get photos done, whether it's a wedding or whether it's a whatever. So in other words, it just through osmosis, it just starts to resonate business through all of us. And so all we're asking is that the people that you know and that they're good at what they do. And that's why we've chosen a lot of you to be here. I mean, with the way Rick and Norm run their business, the way Dave runs his business, the way Susan runs their business, you were handpicked to be here because you are good at what you do. We don't want mediocre people that don't follow up, that don't do service, because over a short period of time, they're not here anymore. Sometimes it's a hard decision that we really need members, but we can't have this person. And I've been in that position quite often. So get somebody good, and that way they can do well, and the members will have a trustworthy person that they could rely on. Okay. So bring in a member, and then you just see what will happen to your business. Thanks, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And yeah, and it ripples for all of us.
Does. Yep.
The LinkedIn live post, if you click on that, that'll take you to our current live feed on LinkedIn. What does that mean? You can post your contact details on the LinkedIn live feed. What does that mean? That means you're sharing who you are and where you are, right? So the people out in LinkedIn can see and connect with you. And also, yeah, we'll go from there. Penny Lee is also your kind of your prime contact. You find somebody. Here's kind of a list of some of the partial list of what we're looking for. One of the things we're looking for: a dog groomer and a home and auto insurance. That's kind of one of the top pieces that's up and coming, and life insurance for the Monday group. So heads up and spin the dial. So now we're going to go around and going to say, hey, what do you do? What are you looking for? Have you had any BAMs or referrals this week? And the fickle finger of fate is going to Susan Ebbs. Susan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. I kind of felt you were going to come to me. I don't know why. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see your shining faces. I represent a company called Melaleuca.com. I think spring is on the way. Are you thinking about spring cleaning? Good place to start is in your bathroom. You don't want to have to wash off that muddy grime with your hands. So why not use Tub and Tile? It comes in a bottle like this that you can reduce down and use multiple times in the spray bottle. It gets rid of that grease, that grime with one little squirt and a wipe. There's no chemicals, no chlorine bleach, no phthalates, all these nasty things that we don't want going into our bodies. And this will replace things like scrubbing bubbles. And you don't want the fumes either, because so often that can cause asthma attacks. So clean your home with Tub and Tile. I have ongoing business with Tony, with who else? With Penny Lee, Wendy Chung, and Steve Brennickmeyer and myself. We got together for a mini BAM, and he bought some Penetrate. His daughter is having some back problems and leaving on a trip, and so they wanted to see if they could get that under control while she's gone. So Susan Ebbs, let me clean your home, total renewal. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. And then we'll do Dave and then Susan McGarry. Dave, over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. It's Dave Belleville from Belleville's Quality Frozen Foods. I just wanted to know that I'm booking turkeys for Easter. I know it's usually a ham, pro-ham festivity, but I want to tell you that these turkeys are free run from an Amish farm outside of Kitchener, Ontario. The family was actually picked for doing a commercial for turkeys for the National the Poultry Board of Canada. So if anybody wants to see that commercial, they sent it. So the reason why we have this opportunity is that he used to sell to big outfits like Maple Leaf, and the problem with that was that they took 4 months to pay him. So he rather go to smaller people that do business and get paid promptly. Like, yes. So we have an opportunity to show him some support. I got some in Christmas once, and I cooked it for a customer. She said it was the juiciest turkey she's ever had. So product is A1, even though it's not a turkey month. We remember that turkey is only going to come again in Thanksgiving in October. So even if you buy a bird and you want to do it later on, that's fine with you. You're going to get an awesome product. So as far as BAMs are concerned, I didn't do any BAMs, but I did promote Sam's T-shirt to my neighbor's little kid with when the small T-shirt. So I found my kid next door and I gave him a pen as well. So he was happy as hell. So and I just like to thank the residents of Canada, Bernie and Eric and Tony for taking some orders when I was out there a couple of weeks ago. That's it for me. Have a good week.
Oh, Dave, we appreciate you. Don't worry about that, boy. So next is going to be Susan McGarry and then Sam. Susan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Like Tony said earlier, I'm Susan McGarry with a company called Pure Trim. Today I wanted to feature our product, the Pure Trim bars. Our chocolate peanut butter are back in stock, and they are now 18 grams of protein, and they're absolutely delicious. They're a meal replacement. So the ideal referral for me is somebody that maybe is a truck driver, does a lot of traveling in their car. They're looking for something quick and easy to grab on the go. They're fabulous. Oh my gosh, you don't even need a whole bar. Even half a bar is so filling. So again, if there's anyone you know and care about that's looking to supplement their diet, because groceries are getting expensive, and these are only $29.99 for a box of 5, and there's no tax. I had that tax removed because they're food, and I felt like, hey, come on, we should be taxed on these bars. So they removed the tax. I wanted to share that. Thank you. A big shout out to Dave. I got 4 from Beth. She ordered 4 jars of the syrup. So I wanted to thank you so much for that. And for Tony, ongoing business and referring his sister to the Pure Trim products. Thank you so much. No BAMs. It's been a busy week, but no BAMs. Thank you so much.
Susan, it's awesome to hear that it's that busy. That's a good sign. And Sam and then Wendy. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, as Bernie mentioned earlier, dash camera is my main thing. A device like this, I recommend them for everybody who's on the road, because in case of an accident, it'll be your word against the other person's, and the dash camera is independent of that, non-biased. It will provide the bare facts of what happened in that accident. Many accidents now, the police, first thing they want to know is, does anybody have a dash camera video of what happened? So you can be the one that has that information to provide to your insurance company and or the police. Also do minor repairs in cars, oil changes, brake jobs. And like Susan mentioned, it's spring coming up. Weather's getting warmer. I don't recommend you change your tires just yet, but I am accepting reservations through tire changes, getting your snow tires off and your summer tires on. I recommend middle of April, but maybe it'll be earlier this year. But that's what I recommend. And when I do a tire rotation, I do a free brake inspection while I do that too, to make sure your brakes are in good shape for the summer. Things going on, BAMs wise. Well, I continue to advertise for our friend Alex with Evolta, and other business ahead. Our friend Harvey Hope, who is Phoenix member, dropped in last week, and I did a transmission fluid change in his vehicle. That's it for me. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle and a heck of a lot more.
And Sam, when someone drops off their vehicle for a tire flip over, is that saying like within an hour, or do you drop it off and pick up next day?
I mean, they can drop it off. I don't mind dropping it off, but it only takes about an hour to do the tire rotation and the brake inspection. So it's not a very long process, and the vast majority of times. So I say hang out. It's only going to take an hour. And you have your car back.
Jason, just coordinate with Dave and have maybe a barbecue at the same time. It's the skinny man talking here right now. Wendy, and then Rick Boyer. Wendy, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker of the group. This year, again, is all about focus and clarity. Right now in our industry, things are changing and we are starting to revamp. We've also changed our real estate coach as well, which is good because change means growth. And I think that's important for all of us to understand that change is not a bad thing. It's actually a growing pain that we go through. So I'm actually looking for a buyer for one of my listings. I have a beautiful single family home in Chapel Hill, and it's on a private lot with an in-ground pool in the back. And there is an in-law suite in the basement with a separate entrance through the side door. Now, the seller has rented out the basement for $1,900 a month, all included, and it's only a 1-bedroom. So why I'm telling you this is because if you know of someone that's looking to buy a single family home, wants to offset their mortgage payments, this might be a good solution for them if they are okay to give up the basement to a tenant, and then that way they could be an owner-occupied income property. So that's very interesting for a lot of people. We don't see this product much on the market, especially in an established neighborhood. So I am looking for a buyer. If anyone knows of someone that might be looking for something like this, please get in touch with me. Also, after following the conference I did in Orlando, Florida, I reconnected with a realtor team in Whitehorse in the Yukon. And so we've decided that bi-weekly, Craig and I are going to meet them over Zoom, and we're going to continue our discussions and mastermind and help each other through some of the challenges that we are having in our own marketplace. And I think it's fantastic to network across the board with other people within your field and just learn how they are working through some of the challenges of today. It's a great way for you to build your own resume and be able to work with your clients here in Ottawa. Thank you.
Awesome. Any BAMs? Referrals?
No, nothing to report for BAM in the group.
Okay. All right. I can't imagine somebody in Whitehorse say to you, you got to watch out for those polar bears or, the 6 months of darkness. Rick Boyer and then Tanya Hewitt. Rick, over to you, sir.
Morning, Rick Boyer from Boyer Brothers Home Maintenance and Repair. So we had an interesting one last week. My client called me up on Monday. They wanted a bathroom and a bathroom renovation and fix up the place they had bought for their daughter. That was on a Monday. She called me, so we booked a time for Wednesday to go take a look at it. Turns out that they get the keys on April 1st. And on Wednesday morning, she sent me an email, said there's a situation that happened at the house. We'd still like you to take a look at it to determine what we could do. When we went there, the person that was renting in that place was smoking in his bedroom and caught the house on fire. Totally, it's a gut tear down. I gave him some advice, but everything was done for this house. All they had to do was get the keys for the first. So now they've got this whole situation that they have to deal with, trying to get a new place. So that was interesting. This week's interest is Monday was my 52nd birthday. And I'm here today because my parents are celebrating their 53rd anniversary. So dad's still in bed. So happy anniversary to my mom and my dad for 53 years. Have a great week, all.
Rick, thank you so much. And just so you know, just updating Norm's here, and he's just kind of languishing in bed and just enjoying his day off, deservedly so. His course is in person, and go through the link. It's $45 a head. So it's about how to learn about the iPhone and all the tips and techniques so you can leverage it for better growth and activity. Tanya, over to you. And then Tony. Tanya, over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Hewitt from the unceded, unsurrendered territories of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe peoples. And I'm going to talk about something that I haven't yet because it's not quite ready, but I am in collaboration with a couple of ladies from Alberta, and we are going to be launching a business that's targeting middle management. There is a lot of support for the senior leader management, the C-suite. There are lots and lots of opportunities for them to be in community, for them to get courses, for them to, lots of books are oriented to that level of management, but not so much to those in the middle, often called the clay layer, often called where things get lost, where things break in the middle. It's a very difficult place to be. And most people in that space are unprepared for it because they just get promoted without any training. And they have zero way to orient themselves. So what we're looking for now is some people to beta test some of the products that we're offering. And so if you know anybody in a middle management category, then I'd love to have an introduction, because those are the people that we love to offer this lifetime membership in order to trial run some of the things that we've been working on. And I haven't had any BAMs with Phoenix. I've been in a lot of other networks recently, but I'll see what I can do going forward.
Tanya, awesome. And Tony, and then Penny Lee. So Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Yeah, that concept where someone gets promoted to the level that they don't understand, it's called the Peter principle. You get promoted to the level of your inability to manage that level. Just keep going up. Anyway, Tony Jennett from Higher Self, guys. I love what I do, especially with the various ways that we could connect to ourselves in a way that we could kind of monitor how our life is going. One of those ways is feng shui. I have a class coming up at the end of the month, and we talk about the 8 different ways your home is keeping you poor. Also, there's an area in your home that resists or attracts opportunities, job offers. It also is connected to whether or not people will sue you. When you get a lot of people that are against you and that sue you, there is a part in your home that actually attracts that. And we just won't see it. We don't know it. It's just a matter of looking at your home in a different way. Anything that happens to you in your lifestyle out there is exactly what your life is like. And it matches. Whatever your home is going through is happening in your life. In this class, you're going to send me a floor plan of your home and a bio of what's been happening to your life in the last 6 months. And inevitably, I see the bio matches the floor plan. But the good news is you could change it. The moment you start changing the stuff in your home, the bio, your life starts to change. And we can show you how to do that. Tony Jennett from Higher Self, where we are here to raise your spirits.
Amazon referrals, Tony? And you're on mute. It's a silent BAM.
Yeah, I had a BAM with Penny Lee, and with Kat, ongoing business there. Eric Sinego, got some ongoing business with him. He's just finishing up some of the things for our business and with Phoenix. And Bernie, I had a BAM with you and Mike. I attended Carl's class. It was all about podcasting and different strategies in promoting it and so on. And so I've been looking at that and a little bit of AI stuff, which fascinating. And I know, Bernie, you know a lot about that. So I think we're going to have to chat. I got a few things, questions you might be able to direct me in the right place. Susan Ebbs, I sent Steve over to you because one of my clients needed some help. So that was sort of a trickle BAM through Steve, through me. So I'm glad that worked out. And Dave, he could put me down for a turkey. Okay. You like quality, and because we deserve it, we can put me down for one of those. Okay.
Dave
And
shows
other
up
than
with
that,
one of his
Bernie,
neighbors.
that's it.
Dave shows up with one of his neighbors. You know, it's not a good turkey then.
Oh, yeah.
And over to Penny Lee. Go ahead,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Good morning, Penny Lee Prevo, the Dancing Motivator, co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated. Susan Ebbs mentioned about spring cleaning. And when you do spring cleaning of your home, you also have to consider spring cleaning of your mind and your body. And so I am collaborating with a friend of mine, your Better Living coach, Elaine Cooper, and we are doing a retreat scheduled for May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's in Perth, Ontario on the Big Rideau. And so it's not too far away, but far enough that you're able to really get away and focus on you for the weekend. We've got some exciting things planned. Of course, I teach mindset, so we're going to be doing a little bit of that. Elaine teaches about nutrition, and so she's going to be our private chef for the weekend. And we are also going to be doing some movement, of course, in order to give you some tools to help you revitalize and relax. So you'll have tools to walk away with that you can use for ongoing practice. So looking for people, there's only spot for 6 people. Everybody has their own bed. There are 2 rooms that are shared beds. There's two beds in 2 different rooms and 3 beds in one room, 2 in another, and 1 bed by itself in a room of its own. So looking for people that you might know who would really like to recharge and just get away for the weekend so that they are refreshed and revitalized. And yeah, so movement is medicine.
Did you BAM away or did you refer away or?
BAMs, yeah. So I actually purchased some mop heads from Wendy Chung, and I'm excited about getting those. My husband mentioned it the other day. Can't wait to get the new ones. And of course, I have ongoing business with Susan Ebbs. I have ongoing business with Steve Brennickmeyer. He's working on a video for me for my Moving to Heal. Who else did I talk to this past week? And I did speak with Cremina last week. We had a BAM, which was very productive. And I actually was trying to find the mimosa flowers in this area because I didn't want to drive into Ottawa. And there are a lot of people that don't even know that that is the flower for International Women's Day. So I informed other people who are florists about that for next year. So I found that very interesting.
Anyway, thank you so much. So who am I? I'm Bernie, and I creatively connect people. So that's part of the creative insight piece. It's connecting businesses to businesses. Run involved in 2 podcasts. One that I own, Knack for Business, talking about people's journey and the golden nuggets. The other one's Property Wizard. It's about commercial real estate, or no, it's about real estate investment, whether it's commercial or residential. And much like what Wendy's talking about is, what does that mean when you have that opportunity? You already have a tenant, it's all squared away. She's right. That is a golden opportunity. You defer your mortgage. There are other benefits in there. And what does that mean if you're setting up, even going to do more properties? Listen to the Property Wizard. It kind of walks you through all the different angles and all the different aspects. Doesn't make you a realtor, but it makes you informed. And what else to tell you? Let's see. Yes, Tony, Mike, and myself, we had a BAM. So golf season's coming up. You're about to get harbinged again. Looking for sponsors, looking for golfers. 9 holes. It's August 1st to Thursday. What else we got on the go? Terry Black did a BAM with her. Steve Breckenmeyer, and went to Carl's session on podcasting. And a lot of people going, well, I don't have a podcast. Why would I go to Carl's session? Well, interesting enough, there are elements in there that you can use in any part of your business, regardless what your business is. For example, sound branding. Does that resonate with anybody? And no pun intended with that, but like if you think of the McDonald's commercial, the Nike commercial, the Apple, they all have a sound bite, a sound that goes with it, right? That's sound branding. That was one element that showed up in there. Did a referral for Carl. East Trade wins. Lana, Carl, Tony, and Eric Senego showed up for that this past Tuesday. And you know what? I can keep going, but that's not the name of the game. Keep it short and simple and sweet. And speaking of sweet, Emma, over to you, ma'am. It's the floor. The floor is yours.
Oh, all right. There you go. Okay, can you guys like hear me and everything? All right, so this is the first time that I'm gonna do this through Zoom. So do I start right away or we're still introducing ourselves?
You can introduce
All right.
yourself, but the rest of the next 20 minutes is yours.
Perfect. Okay, so my name is Ima Ortega, and I am a commercial photographer. I help businesses with their photography, for their branding photography. So I photograph themselves or their services or their products, and then they use those photographs for their marketing collateral. And then from there, we use them to create all kind of things, from business cards all the way to signs like the one that Penny Lee has in her backyard that I went to photograph secretly yesterday. All right, so I have a presentation for you guys about the beauty of brand photography, and we can start right now. So I think I need to share the screen, and here we are. All right, and I do play here. Just let me know what you guys can see. Is everything okay?
Perfect.
You guys can see it?
You're good. You're good.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about how great it is to really brand your photography as well, right? So for certain designers, once we know the brand that you're looking for, the mood, and you know the way you want to be looking at, then we go ahead and take the photographs. And what happens is that when you have photographs like this, you know, it allows the customer to see, you know, your identity. What is it that you do? And they also gives you the trust that you are working with a professional, right? It also gives you consistency. Consistency is really good for any client because they see you, they see what you are about. They can picture themselves in there, and that's why it's so important to take photographs in your own space, not something that is stock photography or something that is just not there, is not real, right? Even in the studio, we can do certain things in the studio, but mainly is to be able to photograph you where you are at. It also creates a differentiation between you and other dentists in this case, for example. You know, like here we have a picture of a child. Not all dentists deal with a child. So it also allows the customer to feel comfortable. They say, oh, okay, so I have a child, I can bring them in there as well, right? It allows you to show your uniqueness, and that's what you're looking for. With photographs, with the authentic photographs, it also allows you to tell your story. For example, this is a yoga lab, you know, and here we can relate. We can see what is happening to the people, right? So it allows you to tell your story silently. And it always say, you know, a photograph is 1,000 words, right? So you don't even need to explain things. If the photograph is really showing you what this is all about, then you're telling your story just with one photograph. It also allows you to engage the audience, because when people can engage with the photography, they can relate, and if they can relate, then they will press that button, right? That says, you know, I want to deal with this. I want to work with this person, because we only. I don't know if you heard the law that is 30-30-30. So you have 30 seconds with a title to grab the person's attention. Then you have 30 seconds with the photograph to grab the other person, right? They look at the title, they look at the photograph, and then you have 30 seconds for them to click. So all that has to happen in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So the photographs have to be engaging. It also gives you a perception of what the brand this is all about. So in this case, we're talking about jewelry, right? Like, what is this all about? What is the feeling? You know, here you can see a young woman. You can see the type of jewelry that it is. You can actually see also the type of branding because of the type of photograph that we're taking. So that also allows you to to talk about the quality of your product or the quality of the service that you're giving, right? And this is something that you want to do, right? And then you also can talk about the veracity, the versatility of the photograph. I'll show you the next thing. I want you guys to look at this because we were in Colombia photographing these people making this for the University of Quebec. So this photograph we have been able to use it to show the originality of what we're making, and also where it comes from, and also, you know, how is it that they make it, and it adds value to your product. This is for the University of Quebec. This is a medallion for the graduates from the university. That was something that, and it was done in Colombia. So it also gives you, you know, that the potential to talk about, you know, how are we going to package this design? How are we going to present this to the customer? So it really gives you the versatility that you need when you have a product that you can show it in different medias and how it was done. So it adds to what you see in the product as well, right? And then when you repeat that brand, for example, for me is the black and white and the blue. When you repeat that constantly, people starting to recognize if it's a black and white photograph for commercial. Most of the time it has, you know, it's me, right? Because people know that black and white is the way I market my things, even when it comes to printing. The reason because I do this is because I don't want you to relate to colors. I want you to relate just to the printing. You know, I can do your printing. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So that's why I use most of the things in black and white for me, right? And then last but not least, you can also take those photographs and use them for different things, right? Like use them for you know, to present yourself as well. For example, in this case, I use this photograph to talk about, to say, you know, how can I serve you? And then write articles about different things. But this photograph, people have seen it in different places. I have my camera with me, and I do it in black and white or in color sometimes. But most of the time, what I'm trying to say is that I take this photograph and I use it in different places, so that it's versatile. It adapts to anything that I've been doing. And for me, I think that branding photography is really part of your brand. It's part of everything that you need. And once you have that branding mood, and once you know how you want to present the person, your photographs are the last thing that are going to create that impact on your website, on your marketing collateral, on your business cards, and that kind of thing, right? So there you go. Do I have more time? Do I have more time, or that's 10 minutes, right?
You're about 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Floor's open.
Keep going.
Floor's open.
Is there any questions?
So, Emma, if someone wants something printed, what's the turnaround time? Depending on, let's say it's a picture. You help them sort out which picture to pick to print, and then if it's assuming it's not a sign like Penny Lee's lawn, how long does it take to get there? You know, get production.
Well, that's a little bit different because Penny Lee's lawn it's a sign, right? It's not a photograph. It's a sign that we actually built for her. In terms of graphically, like we took the graphics and we put it all together, and then we go ahead and print it for her. So it depends on what it is. Like if it's a business cards, these things are gonna be like a week or 7 days or something like that. If it's a sign like Penny Lee's, it took about two weeks or something like that to print it. But when it comes to photography and branding photography, I do help the customer go through all the photographs, but we also discuss it ahead of time, right? Like we go through the mood board. Do you guys know what a mood board is? No? Okay, so a mood board is basically we're gonna take a whole bunch of photographs that you like, that you think they're you know, like let's say for example Wendy as a real estate agent, right? Like she goes, oh well, you know, I want to I want this look. I want to appear like this. I want the houses in appear in a certain way. I want to be taking pictures of myself in the kitchen, showing the neighborhood, all these things. So we discuss all this. And then once we discuss all this, we create a mood board with pictures that are similar to what Wendy has chosen. And then from there, we can create a mood. Like we see it when they're all together. You see the mood, and you even see the color scheme. So from all that mood, you're going to create a color scheme and create the mood, and then from there we create the brand, the brand board. And from the brand board, then now you have your colors, you have the style of the photography that you want, and then you have the final brand, right? But we go through the exercise of choosing all the photographs that we're gonna create, and we shoot them exactly the way you want them, right?
Penny, over to you.
So Ima, you mentioned like in your branding that you do black and white, and you've got the teal blue color that is kind of your signature on things. And I haven't really figured that out yet, but as you know, on my sign, it is black and white on purpose, so people could clearly see it. But I wanted a little flash of color, and I used the daisy on there, the yellow daisy. I really like that. So is that something that I should probably carry through all of my branding going forward? Because I like the daisy and I like the yellow, because to me it's fun and bright, and that's what I represent. And it's growth.
Yes, definitely, definitely. There are certain elements that you need to put them everywhere, so that becomes your icon. You know, the one that I'm doing right now for Taste Sweet Life, same thing. It becomes an icon that you can use for whatever it is that you need to do, for sure, for sure.
Awesome. And you mentioned that about the mood board leads to the brand. So it's really, there's a process to the creation, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people just go say, hey, I need my headshot. Well, no, you don't just need your headshot. You need, let's take a look at what you're trying to do. What is the mood that you're trying to do? Because if I go on to create, take a picture that is like, you with a crazy hat and all, and has nothing to do with your brand, then you ruined it, right? So yeah, we have to discuss those things. Tanya, I think you had a question. Sorry.
I
Tony?
think Penny Lee had asked the question.
Oh, there you go. Tony?
I have a quick question. I just wanted to make a note that if you're trying to put a photograph of your business and somehow put it on your car, some people will put that larger and place it on their vehicles. Like Sam might want to put a big tire or something on his car. You have to have really good photographs to do that, because as soon as you start making anything,
you're talking resolution.
you start to see the pixels. So
yeah, but resolution is something that when a photographer takes pictures of you, they have to give you the high resolution photographs. They cannot give you just the low resolution. A lot of people, what happens is that they don't know what they need to receive. And when somebody's doing a photo shoot, somebody's doing a logo for you, somebody's doing some kind of branding, you need those files. You need those working files. Because so many times people send me and it's like a JPEG and it's like this big, or it's a photograph that is like this big. Don't go and ask for the original files, because they're yours. You paid for them. You paid $800 for whatever, or $1,000 for whatever. They're yours. So you shouldn't be running into any of those problems if you have the original files, which are yours. They belong to you. That's why you're charging you, or you're paying whoever is doing for you the amount of money that you're paying.
Ima, how long do you store those photographs? In other words, somebody
forever.
Yeah,
forever.
because I just think of a house fire, and then they've lost all their photographs.
No, oh, okay.
Get them,
Yeah, well, that's different. But I keep all my photographs in a vault, and they are digital. So people can come to me and say, Ima, do you have that photograph that you took in 2007 or whatever like that? And I can go to my website and get them all.
Okay, Ima, you took a picture at the event the mother-daughter event that Kim McLeod.
Oh yes, they're
You have-
beautiful.
can I-
Of
can I
course I
get
have
that?
them. Yeah,
Oh
I've
my
seen them a couple of times.
Yay,
You
thank
and your
you.
daughter. Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Tony.
I thought I should ask it, and I wasn't sure why.
Yeah, I keep them all. I keep them all for the rest of my life. I can go back and search for whatever photograph I took of you. Yeah, you're welcome.
And do you still do framing, or you don't do that anymore?
I'm
not-
trying
I don't want to, but
yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it a little bit because I don't have the shop anymore, and it's a little bit tricky to do it without me, being able to do these things. But but some of the customers that know that I do it, then I'm doing it for sure. I'm just trying not to, keep it out there because of
Promoting
the
it, yeah.
shop, right? And I don't want to build another shop. I really don't want to. So the framing is still there. But I'm just trying not to market as much. I'm trying to go back into my photography, which is everybody have said to me, please go back to photography. So I'm going back to the photography and the printing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Ema, thank you so much. Excellent presentation. Love the photographs. Just the artisan shows up in that, right? The end result. So it says it all. And folks, if you want to reach out to Ema, you can go through the PBX website and just go through the QR directory. You'll find her there if you're online. And if you're a member, you should already have set up a band with her, and then you get to know more and how everything works. I'm just going to end us with a quote for the day. And the type of person you are is usually reflected in your business. To improve your business, first improve yourself. I'm not going to attempt the person's name. I know better. It's not going to come out right. So I'll leave it at that.